a lot of people who are more emotional, you're going to find that they like to expel their emotional energy. They want you to sit with their emotional energy. They may get even offended by the fact that you have an emotional barrier, that you're emotionally detached. They don't realize that they're actually in violation of your emotional needs when they do that, because that's the way how a lot of people tend to engage each other emotionally. I've learned a few things about dealing with more emotional people. I'd say the first rule when you're dealing with emotional signs is to gauge whether or not this person can understand your emotional needs. If this person is going to violate your emotional needs at every turn, then it's probably not worth it. If you are in the whole martyrdom mindset, it's not going to work well for you. But there needs to be some sort of a compromise here, and if that person is not willing to put in work as well, then it's probably not worth your time. Their emotional outbursts is because of a lack of intimacy. Okay, when they have emotional outbursts, 9 times out of 10 their problems are not their problems. So when you try to solve the problem to relieve their emotional turmoil or distress, it doesn't actually solve the problem, it makes it worse. The problem is that they want to engage you emotionally, and your barrier is causing a problem. They don't understand that them presenting themselves in emotional distress is actually going to put you in a more logical state of mind, not an emotional state of mind. They don't get that. You are in the state of problem solving to help them deal with their emotions. But they're actually 9 times out of 10, they're really just looking for emotional engagement. They're looking for empathy, sympathy. They're looking for you to, pat them on the back or give them some sort of emotional support. That's really all they want. If they vent, they really only want you to give them a reaction to the venting. They don't actually have a problem with their problem. So when you're dealing with emotional signs, you need not think about fixing a problem. You could probably have this discussion afterwards, like when they are more calm. You could probably, if you're really invested in this person, you could say, you want us to work on this, or, suggest to them, see if they need your help and your advice for fixing the problem. But just know that 9 times out of 10, the problem is not the problem. They really just want your emotional energy. That's really all they're looking for. More emotional signs feel their energy more than they're able to articulate. They feel it, but they don't understand the feeling. So they don't necessarily know the source of their problem. They can't articulate the problem. So when you try to rationalize the problem with them, it actually irritates them. It aggravates them more. Yeah, you have to be very sensitive when you're working with one of these more cardinal or emotional moon signs. On the flip side, we don't necessarily feel our emotions in the same way as they do. We're more able to process and articulate this feeling better than we're able to actually feel it, right? I have a preference for that because I'm able to deal with my emotions from the feeling side in a more controlled way, not so much a reactive, explosive, or irrational way.